NBC Monday.
I'm only happy when it rains.
What do we have?
USA Today calls Crossing Jordan Monday's top pick.
I found something.
New York Magazine says it's the first smart dramatic series of the season. You are unbelievable. Jill Hennessy is sexier than ever.
I'm gonna find out who did this to you.
Crossing Jordan premieres NBC Monday.
What good is beauty if it's only skin deep? The new Camry, reinvented so it's sleeker, faster, roomier, better. You're gonna want one. See your local Toyota dealer.
Thinking about painting your car? Stop thinking, do it. Maaco's still offering the Ambassador Paint Service for only $189, the best economy paint service in America. How do we do it? Maaco paints more cars than anyone, 12 million, still counting. And that's why we charge less than anyone. Our Ambassador Paint Service is only $189. Maaco gives more value than anyone. What's value? Quality and price. For a great finish and a beautiful deal, call 1-888-MAACO-USA.
I'm Tom Berger from the Bedstead. There's my grandson Tommy then, and here he is today in the Bedstead showroom.
Tommy enjoys our selection of name brand mattresses. Tommy really likes our wide variety of waterbeds. Tommy loves to play in our beautiful bedroom groupings, but what he loves best is being big brother to William and baby Matthew.
Come see all of us at the Bedstead.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. For value, selection, and outstanding service, it's the Bedstead for the rest of your life.
Live local radar from Super Doppler 8. Weather coverage you can count on.
Dad, are we there yet?
No.
Family vacation on the wings of Goodyear.
Gatorade. Is it in you? NBC Wednesday begins with the second episode of the new hit Lost.
We gotta go!
Lost in Mongolia. How far will they go to get home?
Every time you come here, you bring money.
Then it's the most honored show on television, a special West Wing. And finally, the season premiere of Law & Order, ripped from the headlines.
You know what this dog did?
And a surprise with light. All New Lost, a special West Wing, and the season premiere of Law & Order, NBC Wednesday.
A special one-hour edition of the Olympic Show looks ahead to the 2002 Salt Lake Games and some of the athletes poised to define them. Next Saturday at 5 Eastern on NBC.
Gatorade. Is it in you?
Let's sound it out for your Pittsburgh Steelers!
I don't care what stadium you work for, all right? If you want to write a check for who let the dogs out, I'm still going to need to see some ID.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This bus for you. And you and you and you. This bus for you.
Coming to NBC tonight, a show 50 years in the making. It's 50 years of late night, a primetime special with the biggest stars, the biggest laughs, late night moments you'll never forget.
What the hell were you thinking?
Conan O'Brien hosts 50 years of late night, NBC tonight.
This NBC NASCAR behind-the-scenes special is brought to you by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. By the Home Depot, the official home improvement warehouse of NASCAR. By Goodyear, reminding you to take all your journeys on the wings of Goodyear. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? Welcome back to Dover. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins here today. Next weekend, the Busch Series and the NASCAR Winston Cup Series both move to Kansas City. We'll have the Busch race Saturday at 2 o'clock on NBC. That's a change from the schedule you probably have. And then on Sunday, the Sprint PCS presents the NASCAR Winston Cup Series at the new track in Kansas City, and we certainly can't wait to get there. So it's all over here at Dover. Return to racing after a weekend off that we never wanted off. And we'll end this broadcast the same way we began it, with words of wisdom from a songwriter who somehow saw the future.
Desk. The NFL resumed its schedule today. Let's quickly run through the scores for you, starting in the AFC with the Raiders and the Dolphins in Miami. That's all from the Sports Desk. Good night from New York.
This has been the SunAmerica NBC Sports Desk. SunAmerica, the retirement specialist.
Next weekend on NBC, NASCAR zooms through Kansas City for the first time. Saturday at 2 Eastern, Kevin Harvick leads the Busch Series racers. Sunday at 12:30 Eastern, Sprint PCS presents Winston Cup racing on NBC. Jeff Gordon's dominated mile-and-a-half tracks this year. Will that trend continue versus NASCAR's best? Next weekend on NBC.
NBC Tonight, a show 50 years in the making. Conan O'Brien hosts 50 years of late night, a primetime special. NBC Tonight at 9, 8 Central.
Dateline Tuesday. You've seen his dramatic video. Now Dr. Mark Heath tells his story of what happened next. Dateline Tuesday on NBC.
Coming up next on News 8, the latest on the attack on America. We'll have a live report from NBC's Brooke Hart, who has the very latest from Washington, D.C., plus a News 8 follow-up.
Police in Carlisle now say it was a private school administrator that was arrested Friday and charged with soliciting sex over the internet. I'm Robert Lang. The latest coming up on News 8 at 6.
All that and News 8 meteorologist Matt Ritter's 5-day work week forecast when News 8 at 6 comes your way next.
More. That's what you get with Verizon Wireless. And right now, you get 3,000 more night and weekend home airtime minutes. Free every month for life. And there's more. Now get a free AudioVox 135 phone after mail-in rebate. Plus, you can find it all in more places. A Verizon Wireless communication store, the Verizon Wireless Center at Radio Shack, or call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. So hurry in for 3,000 more free minutes for life and a free phone. Only from Verizon Wireless. Join in.
thinking about painting your car? Stop thinking, do it. Maaco's still offering the Ambassador Paint Service for only $189, the best economy paint service in America. How do we do it? Maaco paints more cars than anyone, 12 million, still counting. And that's why we charge less than anyone. Our Ambassador Paint Service is only $189. Maaco gives more value than anyone. What's value? Quality and price. For a great finish and a beautiful deal, call 1-888-MAACO-USA.
To the list of things that makes Dodge Durango just right, add this, your timing. Now get low 0% financing, plus pay $0 down and make 0 payments for 90 days, or choose a $2,500 cash allowance. See, compare, drive, Dodge during the Team Dodge sales event.
WGAL celebrates the volunteer and donor efforts of so many people across the Susquehanna Valley. Together we can and are making a difference.
You're watching WGAL 8. Now, coverage you can count on continues. From the home of Super Doppler 8, this is News 8 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Ann Shannon. Dennis Buterbaugh has the night off. Our top story, the latest on the attack on America. We'll have a report from Washington in just a few moments, but first, a look at some of today's headlines on the attack on America. The roar of the crowd and the crack of the bat at Yankee Stadium were replaced this afternoon by a solemn memorial to the victims of terrorism. Thousands attended, many with banners of lost loved ones. Secretary of State Colin Powell told NBC's Meet the Press the case against Osama bin Laden in the September 11th terrorist attack is persuasive. He says the American people and America's allies will soon get to decide for themselves when the evidence is released. And now with the very latest on today's developments, we have more from NBC's Brooke Hart.
President Bush returned to the White House tonight after starting the day symbolically, watching the U.S. flag at Camp David hoisted to full staff for the first time since September 11th. The nation's mourning period officially over, even as thousands gather in New York's Yankee Stadium to pray and remember.
As members of one human family,
Christians, Muslims, Jews, Sikhs, honoring the memory of victims of terror, their families, and the 2,000 workers for whom it wasn't a day of rest. From above, their job looks endless, and on the ground, a test of strength in all ways. Near the pile, mental health volunteers try to offer comfort.
And we also give out a lot of teddy bears and some beanie babies and stuffed animals and things that have been donated.
At the Pentagon, mourners leave tributes to 189 victims, many of them military. As U.S. forces continue to mass around Afghanistan, the ruling Taliban reports they've lost track of Osama bin Laden, a claim Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld calls laughable. But Rumsfeld admits finding bin Laden and his terrorist camps will take a ground search.
Is it likely that an aircraft carrier or a cruise missile is going to find a person? No.
U.S. officials also renewed their warning the effort will take time and may be casualties far away. While at home, another kind of struggle. These NASCAR fans among millions of Americans reaching for what's normal and finding something different. Brooke Hart, NBC News, Washington.
Well, as Brooke mentioned, 12 days after the attack, President Bush joined Marines in raising the flag to full staff today at the presidential retreat Camp David. Camp David is just 10 miles south of Adams County over the Pennsylvania line in Maryland. Other flags followed, including this one at the top of the state capitol building. You can see it there at the left top of your screen. This is the first time American flags returned to fly at full staff since the attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. In the wake of the terrorist attacks, members of two Mechanicsburg churches got together to form a human chain today. It's a physical sign of their growing unity. Members of Grace United Methodist and Mechanicsburg Presbyterian Church formed the chain to link their congregations.
The country is in a difficult time, and we wanted to show this community that we're united in prayer, in our belief in God's presence and healing, and in the chance for us to proclaim Christ and the peace that he brings.
Those along the human chain also offered special prayers for the victims and survivors of the terrorist attacks. Patriotic music was part of a special outdoor worship service today at the Harrisburg First Church of God. The outdoor service was part of the church's Via Colore, or Streets of Color Festival, that's been taking place all weekend. Well, firefighters across the Susquehanna Valley continue to go above and beyond to assist those affected by the terrorist attacks. Today, 3 more Lancaster fire companies did their part, helping to raise money for disaster relief following the September 11th tragedy. The New Danville, West Willow, and Conestoga fire companies held a Fill the Boot campaign. Firefighters collected money from noon until 4 at the intersection of Route 741 and Route 324 in Millersville. They say it's the least they could do to help with the relief efforts.
It's only a drop in the bucket compared to what can be done throughout the United States, what is obviously being done throughout the whole world, and it's just amazing to me what a whole bunch of volunteers can do together to create a lot of money for one cause.
Well, those firefighters did an awful lot. They say they raised about $10,000. Communities are continuing to come together in the wake of the terrorist attacks, and if you're looking for an opportunity to help out, WGAL is teaming up with Hershey Park for a unique event. We're calling it Ride for Relief, and next Saturday, September the 29th, you can come to Hershey Park for a special admission price of $12.95. Now, parking is free, and all of the money raised through those admission prices will go straight to relief funds. Your county family is taking a unique approach to raising money for the American Red Cross and terrorism attack victims.